So today we're going to take a look at 100 Thieves versus TSM, and we're going to look at Ascent. And I know that I've already looked at Ascent once from TSM, but there isn't many interesting games of Ascent, to be honest, because everyone plays the same comp, which is pretty much what 100 Thieves are running, or people run very similar to that. But TSM have gone out there. They're out in the wilderness because they've gone for the Breach, the Chamber, and the Raise, which are all more rare on this map. And in particular, Breach, it's just a pat on the back for myself because I mentioned that, hey, Bleed in APAC are running Breach on Ascent and they keep winning with it. Is it good? TSM come in onto Ascent with Breach and they are doing pretty well with it as well. So here we go. TSM versus 100 Thieves, and we'll start off with round number 4. This round is going to start off pretty interesting because we have an A lean here from the side of TSM. They're on the attacking side, but also a heavy A committal here from 100 Thieves as well. And so what we're going to see is some very early trade of utility on this A main position here. You can see we get a Breach done, a KO knife, the Jet comes down here as well. We get a KO nade, the Omen smoke. There was a Sova dart in there from TSM. So very, heavy committal from both sides, getting in that early utility. But that means that TSM just go, whoa, they really wanted to get A main, so let's just full rotate to B and see what's going on over there instead. So they make a very quick decision, which I think helps them a lot in this round, because you can see that because they've shown that presence so quick, but then just sprinted across to the other side, there's still 3 players locked down about as far away as they could possibly be. So, this is a big chance now for TSM if they can get in quickly. Really nice call from Subrosa. So as we just saw there, I should have just stayed here. We got the flash down here to make sure they get B main control. It flashed the turret, they destroy that, and they're about to come in into the site. So in we go. We get a Breach flash there. Aftershock as well. We get the Rays coming in there with the satchels, you can see, and so they start coming in onto the site. But whilst that's happened, something really interesting going on here, because 100 Thieves have done this Omen smoke on the site, which is really, really interesting. And I know why they did this. It's because with this Breach, often what you'll see is they can flash like down below here. Very effective flash. They'd actually already used it on the pistol round that got them a couple kills. And so this smoke is actually going to block off that flash. And I think it works perfectly well because GMD uses a flash and no one is flashed that we can see. So that is a really nice little smoke for them to play around. So as we run this forward then, what's going to happen is Derek is going to play around that smoke. He's just going to spam. He has an Odin. He's going to play around that smoke really well. Now, GMD is about to kill the Killjoy here from this position. This is kind of a bit of a weird one because if we look where the Killjoy has to play, they know obviously the Raze is deeper into the site, so the Killjoy has to be a bit worried about that. But this smoke here, whilst it is good for that and obviously stopping the flash as well, it does create a bit of a problem for the Killjoy here because now the Killjoy is kind of isolated because the Sova can't see because of the smoke. So the Killjoy ends up kind of isolated and feeling probably a bit trapped by the Raze as well. So whilst it does help the Sova, it kind of didn't help the Killjoy that much. And you can see that the Killjoy dies there to GMD, worrying about what else is going on. Derek is able to get GMD coming in around, but now, obviously, now that the Killjoy is dead, the Raze knows that this is completely free to run around in, and the Raze is about to get that trade as well, and we're going to end up in a 3v3. Okay. 3v3, sites theirs, and what's just happened on the map there is the chamber trap had just gone off, and so what happens is they know that they're coming, and we just get 7 there. He's going to take 1 out, and then we also get the kill from the Raze here, and then finally, just to end that, the Raze now has the ult as well, and so that is exactly what Corey's going to do. He's going to ult bang and get the final kill. Really nice round from TSM there. Very nice call from Subrosa to just let's just go beat. We've seen a lot of pressure here. Let's just straight up rotate as quickly as we can. And now let's come to round number 6, and this one has a ton of cool things that go on in it, and a really, really interesting back and forth here, because we start with the Sova drone in mid. That's going to ping Will, who has the operator, and so they get early information that Will is there, and so then what they decide to do is just retreat a bit, because then this Sova drone comes out from the side of 100 Thieves, and so they just hide from it because they do want to go back to this B site. So they just hide, pretend like, oh yeah, we've run away from the op, we're pretty aware. But now we're going to see the advantage of actually playing Raze on this map. Not a popular pick, but for this particular instance, the Boombot is going to come in very big for them because they need to re-clear this, and the Boombot is going to lock onto Will there. They then use the Breach flash as well and flash him, and Will gets very lucky that he doesn't die there. And then we send in this nade, and then this is really, really nice from TSM. They send in the nade, They're going to send in this Sova Dart. They begin to smoke it off, and they're about to breach ult as well. And that breach ult is going to kill the Jet because she's going to get pushed back into that Raisinade that we just saw. So in goes the breach ult, and there you go. There's the kill on the Jet. And so in they go to the site, but we need to keep an eye on what's going on elsewhere, because what's happening on site doesn't really matter as much now, because we've had the chamber watching mid here, but Asuna is about to drop down, and Asuna is about to actually get the kill on the chamber. Very important kill in this round, I think. And also we've had the Omen ult. That's how the Omen got here this quick, you might be wondering, and clearly no one from TSM heard it, because this Sova is also about to ult on site. You can see the ping is there. He's ready to try and ult down here, but obviously the Omen is right behind and is about to get a free kill as well. So that's what's about to happen. We can watch that happen on the map if we wish. So there goes the kill from Asuna there in mid, and then we're about to see an execution here, really, as the Sova is ulting. There you go, there's another kill there. Now whilst that's gone on as well, we've just had this Sova Dart in here, very common Sova Dart that you should probably learn if you want to play Sova on this map for the retake. Just coming up on here, it's going to scan anyone on lane, and it did scan the breach, and so what's going to happen is the Sova is just going to pelt those bullets through these paper walls and get another kill there. There you go. And so we end up in this 4v2, and now obviously it's kind of a bit of a sticky situation for TSM. They really have to try and find a way out of this. And so what's going to happen, as soon as the spike gets tapped, the other Sova is going to ult. The race tries to, you know, catch the Sova out, but they're holding it pretty well, and Subrosa is in a pretty unwinnable situation. He does manage to find one, but then gets killed. Now let's come to round number 11, and what we're going to see off the start here is we're going to get this early Omen one-way into the KO knife. Very effective for taking this early A control, and that is what it's going to give them. And you see you've got the early recon dart in there as well from TSM, but TSM, you know, they want to go to A, but they have a bit of a problem here in that, you know, they don't have any control, and so what they're going to have to do instead is they decide to breach, stun down here towards wine, and then aftershock it as well, just to make sure that no one is actually in there. Okay, so they get a main control, you know, of that early area, but they decide to go back instead. And what they're going to do here is they're actually going to drone down mid. So here we go. They're going to drone down mid, because this is going to be crucial for what they want to do, because they have a pretty interesting idea. They smoke off mid there as well, and you can see that the drone goes all the way down. And so what's going to happen here is, here's the smoke. They are now going to walk down the rafter here. We also get a Sova ult in, which is quite interesting as well, to try and clear this space, because that is actually the space that they want. Because you'll see that Subrosa has now actually smoked this off, and what they're about to do is breach ult this. Which is really quite interesting. And so I think that the plan here initially was to, you know, run in this way, and, you know, cause some chaos, see what happens from there, I guess. You know, maybe try and do a bit of this, which would be quite an interesting little take of the A site. It isn't going to go perfectly to plan, as we will see, but it starts off pretty well. There goes the breach ult. They pop the KO ult as well, but straight away Asuna dies. But Bang does really, really well, because he's able to just smoke himself off. You know, he kind of realizes that that was the plan, so he just smokes himself off and lives in there. Okay, now Will is able to get a GMD coming out of A main, but now they're kind of in a bit of a weird spot, because they are, you know, probably pretty confident that someone is in there, but now they've kind of smoked themselves off, as you can see from the site. So they have to make a bit of an interesting choice, and so they do just decide to commit to the site. Corey sees the Omen there, and he's like, oh hell no, and so he tries to raise ult, but actually misses there as well. Eventually their smoke fades, so they are able to now come in onto the site, and they smoke this off as well for this one way, and we end up in this 4v4. Now the thing is, Stella is actually going to find Corey in this smoke and is going to be able to kill him first. Rossi is about to go absolutely massive, by the way, and pretty much win this round for them, because Stella gets 1 and 7 gets the kill and TPs away. Now, whilst that's going on, Stella has found Subrosa as well. Rossi has found Bang. The problem Rossi now has is he's on very low HP, and his chamber is just teleported very far away, and the door is shut. So he is in a real situation here, but he does really well. He's able to hide, just hide behind this smoke, and he's able to get that kill and then jump behind the generator and live, and it's so big. They break the door, and now Stella, again, great crossfire here from Rossi, great swing out timing, and a very well played round by him, and an interesting idea as well from TSM. And so now let's come to round number 17. And so we've swapped sides here. TSM are on the defensive side, and their defensive side was very good on this map because it was a 6-6 half, but then they win this map 13-7. So they only gave up one round. And you can see in this round, they actually have not great weaponry. Seven's got his ult, but other than that, you know, we have an Ares, a Spectre, a Bulldog. It's not perfect, and they're going to play pretty far off on this A side. They had put up this Omen one-way smoke here, but you can see they pretty much are giving up the A site. The reason that they're doing that is because they have the breach ult ready for the retake. So you can see 100 Thieves, you know, they drone in, they smoke this, in goes the jet, in goes the KO knife, you know, all the normal stuff. They get in onto the site, okay? But actually 100 Thieves are going to make a little mistake here, and that is that no one came in to close the door. So the Omen here did go to plant, but then had to come back to close the door and then go and plant. And that's going to waste some time for them, obviously. You can see the Omen doing it now. And the Omen is now going to go and plant instead. But that obviously gave TSM quite a bit of time. And so they're able to destroy the door before the spike even goes down. Okay, and then in comes the breach ult. Really, really nice from TSM here. You can see we've got the smoke down here. They send the raise nade in. And so that means that, you know, for this time being, they only have to deal with people on the site. You know, they kind of isolate them with the smoke and the raise nade. Really nicely done. And so in they go. Now, actually, ascent does just run through it, and he ends up getting traded. The Omen banged there for 100 Thieves. He's actually used his ult to get out instead of the site. He was the one that planted the spike, of course. But unfortunately for Will, he's hiding in his own smoke there, but eventually that's going to fade, and he is still stunned up, and he's going to die as well. So we end up in this position, a little 4v3, but unfortunately for 100 Thieves, they're all trapped back here. And you know, not in a great position, and now they have an extra problem as well. They do send in this nice little Omen flash, but their problem is now that Corey also has his ult, so he's just gonna run in there with the raise ult, send it in. He gets a kill. Okay, it does get traded out, but now with the smoke fading, they're able to get those final couple kills. Tough situation for 100 Thieves there. Really nice retake from TSM. You can see they had a good plan, and they executed it really well. And now let's take a look at round number 19, and we're gonna see this breach come into good use here, because again we have some A main pressure from the side of 100 Thieves. We just saw there that we got the stun that I mentioned in my video about why breach might be good on this map. This stun down here obviously is going to catch everyone, and then we're also about to get the aftershock in here with Sub Rosa peeking off that. Really, really nice, and that's going to secure them the first kill in this round just off the breach utility. You see they're all stunned there, and Sub Rosa's able to get that first kill of Bang as he has to retreat from the aftershock, and then Seven's able to punish the repick as well. Really nice little setup for them, like, oh, we got a kill, oh, I'm running away, oh, there's an op there still holding A main, you're still in trouble. And so we end up in a 5v3, very difficult situation here for the side of 100 Thieves. So what they decide to do is just, you know, group together, and they're going to try and just stick with it on A. Obviously they don't know where the rest of the players are, but you see we just get more and more delay from them as well. The smoke comes out as well. I think that might be a bit of a missed one-way smoke there, but in come 100 Thieves. They decide, you know, this is their time to try and start getting in onto the site. And you can see though, as soon as they close the door, in comes the Sova ult as well. In goes Sub Rosa. He manages to get one, but Derek is actually able to get 2 kills. Okay, so he ends up on 6 HP here, but I love here what Seven is going to do on this chamber, because there's a lot of people, even pro players, that would be like, oh, he's on low HP, I'll just swing it, I'll just swing him, you know, I've got this, don't worry about it. And that is how you lose rounds, because Seven here, he's just going to have patience. He's just going to stay patient. He knows they're in a 3v1. Let him plant the spike. It doesn't even matter, right? Like, just wait. You know he's on low HP. Just catch him, you know, when he actually has to plant the spike, and you see they wait for their teammate. Corey comes around the other side, and they get the free kill. And now let's come to the very last round. And so in this one, what I really like from TSM again is just teamwork. They just play as a team, and I think that that is what makes you a decent enough team right now. Is just if you play as a team and trade kills and, you know, do everything as a team and don't try and make hero plays, you'll actually be a pretty good team right now. Now in a year or two's time, maybe that will change, you know, as people's utility usage gets better. But in general, I think if you can just play as a team, the Guard I think are perhaps the best example of this, where they don't do anything crazy, like anything like you go, wow, I can't believe that execute. I've never seen anyone do that before. They just play as a team really well, and it often works. And I think if you have enough firepower and play as a team, you'll do pretty well. And it starts off with Seven here, actually going for that aggressive chamber peek, and he's going to get the first kill. Then we're going to get this Sova ult from the side of 100 Thieves, trying to trade it back. But 100 Thieves are actually going to go on a big rotate back over to the other side of the map, as you can see. Coming across to the other side now. So we'll just run this forward a bit quicker so we can just see them go there. And the breach, obviously, in this position is going to hear that soon enough. And he is about to, you can see his turn there and instantly find that. Now, here's just another advantage of playing breach on this map is that a lot of people pick Killjoy. But obviously, you can just do that to the Killjoy ults with the breach and not have to worry about it. But look, they don't go diving in onto the site. They play as a team. They give up that space. They wait for everyone to get here before they really do anything. They see that, you know, they've pushed up there towards short as well, and so yeah, they're just going to wait for everyone to be here before they go in for this retake. They actually, you know, do start the retake, but actually Stella's able to get the first kill, but they manage straight out again 4v3, and so they take their time. The spike still isn't down, so there's no real rush here. You know, they just take their time. They're going to wait for it again and make their move when they're ready. So I think that this is a missed omen one way up here, I think. But I don't know, it is covering the spike, so maybe it was because they felt like they didn't have control to actually plant the spike. But we saw there as well from GMD that he knew that this jet was here. They'd fired some bullets at him and this chamber trap had gone off. So he was pretty aware that someone might be there. So interestingly enough, he just decided, well, I'm not going to challenge this on my own. I'll just go back with the team and leave you there. And we'll just, you know, come down and come at these players from, you know, 4 different angles. You can see 7, he jumps on top of the Jenny there and comes around, and so whilst Will is able to sneak behind them and get 1, now obviously he's in a difficult position and he has to try and come back, and so 7 here, he's just gonna go and kill him and win the game for TSM as they were defusing the spike. Really well played by TSM there. As I said, just playing as a team will be pretty good for you, and I think that they've shown a lot of improvement. If you're a 100 Thieves fan, I wouldn't be too worried. I think they overall played pretty well in this series. They very easily could have won Icebox and made it 2-0, so I do still expect the 100 Thieves will probably make it through the second open qualifier. I'd be surprised, you know, seeing how they're improving as well. They seem to get better every game they play. I'd be surprised if they don't make it as well. So there's still lots of hope there. But yes, some very interesting games being played, and TSM, it's nice to see them improve, to be honest.